Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Quick Sticks. James and Matt coming at you tonight. How are we doing, James?
ready to go.
Good to hear. Samuel, in typical fashion, declined to be on tonight after
Good.
the Atlas lost to the Water Dogs. So, from what we've heard, he's super embarrassed. Has locked himself in his room. So we're hoping to have him back next week. We'll see.
TBD on that. TBD.
Yeah, we will
It's
see.
interesting because if Trevor's healthy, he's down to be on the podcast. But when he's not,
It's funny how that works. I'm seeing correlation there,
Kyler
but
Murray, Call of Duty stuff.
that's right. But you know what? We press on without him.
Yep.
We press on without him. We had quite a weekend of games here in Denver, which was very cool to see. Quite a nice turnout for Denver.
Sold out crowd.
Yeah, that's right. That's becoming a popular and regular thing here is the sold out crowds.
100%, especially with Trevor playing.
Jack
Trevor
Hanna.
and Jack Hanna. Yeah, Jack Hanna. Wow, we'll get into that.
Oh yeah. So yeah, let's take a look at the games here. So the first one we had was Cannons Redwoods. I will say every game from here on out is obviously a must win for the poor Cannons. Starting this week, it did not go well.
Correct.
This was a great face-off matchup. Stephen Kelly won 11 of 28. TD won 18. TD is looking more and more like back to the normal TD Erlin.
Then we texted about this, but then I have to ask you, like, what do you think about the commentators saying, TD was definitely hurt 3-4 weeks ago, what have you? Like, do you think he's just healthy?
So I want to do that, but like when that happens in the NFL, we're always like, oh, come on.
That's true.
So I don't know. Like, I don't know if the PLL is there yet, or because I feel like face-off is definitely I mean, if you have an injury and trying to take face-offs and it's like actually taking a toll on you, that's got to be impossible to win any.
I mean, not to mention it's a lower body injury for him. So
which it's all lower body.
Exactly. So is there another way to explain the difference? Because he literally looks like old TD. He truly does.
Yeah. I mean, so and Stephen Kelly's not, one of these lower. No. Like Stephen Kelly's a respectable face-off guy.
Very much so.
So it was good to see him getting back to normal. Redwood's offense is firing on all cylinders. They had 7 different scores in this one. Ryder Garnsey is a disgusting human being for the way he's treating defenders recently and goalies.
How did he score that goal? I need to hear it. How did he score that?
I thought his goal 2 weeks ago, where he was like falling to the ground, faked and then shot and scored.
Yep.
This one completely topped that. He was on his back.
On him. He switched over on the ground and then finished.
He is doing things on his back like a beach turtle that I could not do standing on 2 legs.
And I think it's hard because every coach, every time they see that highlight, they're like, oh man, all my attack, man. Every time they go down, they're like, but coach, I could have shot it.
I mean, yeah, like what do you say to your defenders? Just lay on them so you can't do that?
Like, I mean, we took him down. And then I think the disrespect, if you will, or kind of the embarrassment, the Cannons shouldn't have called that stick check. I think that was really
a bad look.
That was really like, that is the equivalent of like a little kid saying like, that's not fair. That's not fair. There must be like,
no, game's over. You
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so not a good look.
That's game over. Like
but on the flip side is like if it wasn't the Cannons, I would be fully on board.
True.
But it's like, I mean, the Cannons they're just grasping at straws right now.
They are.
Anything to get a player ejected.
That's fair. That's fair.
You're in that
mindset. You gotta do what you gotta do. I get
that. Another player who looks back to normal is Rob Pennell. I mean, took over this game offensively.
Yep.
It was, you had defenders like Glazner hitting 2 bombs. It was a fun game to watch. Unfortunately, I had Cannons plus 1.5, so big fat loser. Again, 4-game parlay, first game wiped out. It's just not a good feeling.
That's betting for you, man. It's like golf.
It really is.
So,
I don't know. What did you see from the Cannons first? The only thing that I liked from the Cannons is Lyle Thompson. Again, like Jake Culver's doing what he can, but their defense and goaltending is just it's
bad.
Bottom tier.
I think the Cockerton addition was 2 games too late. I think he's exactly.
I do like Cockerton looks great.
The thing is, Cockerton has the same kind of instincts that Lyle does. Remember when Asher was on? He was saying that Lyle plays on instinct. He doesn't do the logical thing. He literally just does, everything on instinct. So Cockerton is very good about reading that and kind of being, off the backside. And he's such a good finisher, but like I just feel like it's a little too late. And Lyle Thompson's the best lacrosse player in the world. That's
Confirmed.
it. But dude, Morocco's starting to worry me, man. He looked. I mean, I know it doesn't make sense because he had 14 saves, but like, dude, he's looked bad at times. Like he's looked really. So I don't know.
I mean, well, and so I was actually wondering, like, at what point do the Cannons make a change in goal? But like, I don't know. Maybe I just haven't looked deep enough, but they're not getting like blown out. They're in every game for the most part.
Yeah, I think I realized that last game, and I think the stat that everybody was sharing was that the Cannons lead the league in ground balls, but they're last in the league. And every coach always, yells like ground balls win games. And so it's just weird. It's honestly it's just bizarre. I think they did rely too much on Lyle at times. I want to see like a little more 2-man game with him and Asher or with Drutter or something. But this whole Lyle take the ball, everybody watch. It's not working.
It's not sustainable. But I mean, like, so they were down 8-6 at halftime. Giving up 8 goals is not great. It's not good, right. But you're only down by 2. Like, as a 1-7 team, I'm okay with being down by 2.
Yeah, I also love to pull the stats on their 2-pointers, dude. I don't think they have too many this year. None of their attackmen can shoot 2-pointers, not one. So I would be super curious to know how many they've had total on the year because they had 0 this game.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like who would even shoot that.
Like,
I mean, I guess
exactly. Like the fact that we can't even like. Also, Donville looked great for them.
Yeah, he did. So they have 2 2-point goals this entire season.
Yep, and I think one of them is Pulver. No.
Yeah, it was week 1.
Yeah. So I mean, exactly. Week 1.
The Redwoods had 2 2-point goals this past weekend against the Cannons.
Right. And that sometimes is the difference in the game. And like, what has happened with Steven Rafis? Like, remember, dude, last year,
he was
a killer.
I actually talked with Joe Keegs about this on Twitter. We were DMing back and forth a few weeks ago, or it was actually right before the season started. Sure. And he asked me one player I was looking forward to seeing. And I was like, honestly, it's got to be one of these rookies, man. Like, this rookie class is insane. I asked him, what about you? And he was like, oh, dude, Steven Rafis.
Yeah.
And I was like, true. Like, he was on the top 50 players as a rookie.
Yeah. And he had one of those super balanced seasons where he had high assist and high goal.
So, he has completely dropped off this year.
But like, does Lyle kind of have the LeBron effect, and like Rafis is kind of like a Kyle Kuzma? Like,
could be.
You know what I mean? So it's a lot of standing and watching, and then when you get the ball, it's kind of go time. They also like wait very long to get into their offense in the shot clock, man. Like way too long.
Yeah, they do. I have noticed that. Yeah, I mean, the possessions I watched, the offense just seems too stagnant. It's kind of like the Water Dogs were early in the season, where Asher's at X instead of Sowers, and he's basically looking for Lyle. If that's not there, he's just trying to run around one side of the goal and force it in, but there's just no movement. It's like, if Lyle's not open, you just make something happen yourself.
Yeah.
And again, the Redwoods are probably the best defensive team in the league, so trying that against them is not going to work.
It's hard. I didn't realize that. Oh wait, hold up. We have to talk about probably the best 30 seconds of lacrosse I've ever seen.
Oh wow, was that that was the end of the first half?
Yeah, man. So I'm assuming everybody saw it, but it was a Jack Kelly save, outlet to Perkovic. Perfect Perkovic shot on the run, lefty, saved by Morocco, rebound out. He saved the rebound, which I don't understand how he got there. And then Asher throws an underhand 70-yard pass on Lyle's stick. 2 seconds
like
ago now.
Tape to tape.
It was, and I don't think people who have never played lacrosse understand like an on the run underhandish. I mean, it's.
And then you've got Lyle in front of the net by himself, which that's a goal. That's a goal 8 days a week.
Those are the kind of goals where like coaches always say like not until the whistle's blown. Like that's the epitome.
Yeah.
Of every coach.
Well, and so at that point they're down by 3.
Right.
If Perkovic shoots that and it goes in, you're down by 4. Instead, you swing it, you're only down by 2. So like that was a huge momentum lift going into the halftime.
It was, and I thought that was going to carry them, but it didn't.
I don't know. So I do want to ask, would you be upset if Lyle gets MVP being on a 1-7 team?
Yeah, it kind of goes back to this whole NBA thing. I don't want the PLL to fall into the NBA criteria of explaining MVP awards is like science and math together. I think the MVP is the most valuable player, regardless of what team you're on. So no, it wouldn't bother me at all. I've had this stance for every sport. I don't know how we've gotten away from this. If you guys want to make another award for the best player on the best team, then make it. But MVP is that. It's MVP. And without Lyle Thompson, the Cannons could lose to Briarwoods next week. So
no one knows who Briarwoods is.
Briarwoods High School.
I agree. It's tough to. You're obviously going to have those people being like, just like they are with LeBron. It's like,
if he's MVP, why are they on the playoffs?
Exactly, and it's like, I get they only have one victory, but you realize they would be getting smoked out of that stadium each week if it wasn't for Lyle.
Not to mention, I'm looking at it now. He had 6 points and he shot 80% from the field. Come on,
right? He shot 80%.
Yes.
And I mean, yeah, like again, the Cannons offense is not the issue. They're putting up goals. The issue is they're giving up so many.
They have a bad defense. I also think they need to use Bubba Fairman more. He's a freak. He's a freak athlete.
Yeah, Bubba looks great every week, or better every week.
He's so fast, dude.
But I mean, giving up 15 goals, that's most times that's not going to be enough. Or I'm sorry, that's too many goals to get a win. Of course, the Water Dogs did it, but still.
I mean, they also have a lot of quick turnovers, so their defense plays a lot of defense. Especially in this game, man. They played a lot of defense.
They looked gassed.
Yeah, they were very, very, very tired. So, I don't know.
I like the Cannons making the lineup changes, dropping some players, adding Cockerton, those guys. But I think you're right. I think it was just too little too late. So I assume they're kind of calling it a season and just kind of looking for the draft. But
I mean, but like, should they though? Chaos dropped 2 games and they're in the playoffs.
I mean, no, they shouldn't. But I don't really see how you would tank in the PLL anyway. But you don't need to tank. You're already in last place. But I mean, let's be honest. When they get to the playoffs, they're going to get slapped. Because they're going to have to play like the Atlas or Water Dogs.
So, like, might be a hot take, and we can record this one if they do actually make the playoffs. I think the Lyle Cockerton thing in the next couple of weeks of them playing together is going to be a much bigger problem than people realize.
Well, yeah, that line of Lyle Cockerton Asher.
Oh, he's played 2 games, and I think he already has like 7 points.
I didn't see how many he had this week.
He had 2 goals this week. And like,
you said point. He has 7 points.
Yeah. So 7 points over the last 2 games. But like, dude, he took 12 shots last game. I mean, a lot of their offense creation is, it's coming by those 2. So
I thought it was a great pickup. I was shocked no one had picked up Cockerton by then, or maybe he was offered and said no. But
I just think a lot of places already have their Cockerton.
Yeah,
they have that guy off, but like Cockerton is just so creative, man. So
well.
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see what happens. Redwoods get the win 15-12. They move up to 3-5. The Cannons drop to 1-7, dead last.
Thanks.
Next game we got your Chaos taking on Chrome. Chrome coming to this one actually on a 3-game losing streak, which I didn't realize.
Yeah, I did not realize that until they brought it up on the game. I was like, whoa.
I'll turn it over to you. At least from my point of view, it seemed like it was another down week of offense for the Chaos. I don't know. I feel like we're seeing a pattern week after week of just sloppy offense. You guys shot 26%.
Yep.
Lost the face-off battle, and Blaze gets shelled. Like that's kind of what I'm seeing every week. Have you lost confidence in your Chaos, or can they still right the ship?
I don't know if lost confidence is the right phrase. I think what really bothered me was the lack of effort in the 4th quarter was honestly embarrassing. I mean, there was times where, we're down by 2 goals. There's like a ground ball scrap, and I just don't see any Chaos players there. I mean, there's multiple opportunities. We had 2 offside calls on very obvious fast break opportunities, and it's hindsight. I know that. But do you remember the goal that Troy Ray scored after we picked up the turnover, but Coach Towers called timeout?
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I know people are going to hate to hear this, but that was a big turning point because we were on then a 3-goal run, and then he got it down to 2, and everyone the air goes out of the team because it's like, oh, we call timeout. Then we get the ball back, we turn that over, and they score.
Yeah,
and
so that actually was a big moment.
It's just little things like that. It's hard to count this team out because as much as I want to say they're playing badly, like Dean Smith is already in the top 10 in the league in assists. He's only played a handful of games. Like the offense is like doing things. They're just not finishing. Like we're having the same issue the Cannons were having. Like we're just not finishing games, truthfully. And Chase Frazier made a lot of bonehead plays as well, like a lot of like really stupid plays. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I definitely haven't given up because that's like the league is too small and there's not enough teams, and Blaze is still playing like Blaze, but the attitude has to change. The attitude has to change. Of like I really want to see a do or die team, you know.
yeah, I think that's coming, but yeah, I mean, you guys were tied going in the fourth quarter. You scored 0, they scored 4, so
That's what I'm saying.
it makes
Fourth
sense.
quarter was bad. Fourth quarter was really bad. But I want to get your thoughts on Scanoni. That man's good. He's
Scanoni is very good.
very good. Like
Yeah,
not a fluke, not an early season anything. Dude, he is solid and he's very good out of the cage and has some of the best outlets. So
I think right now he probably has the best outlets. Yes, I think maybe second best, but yeah, no, I think Scanoni's having a fantastic year. I think he's a huge part of why Chrome is doing so well.
Yeah.
And it's hard to believe that Chrome's been on a 3-game losing streak because Scanoni has still been playing well. So was shocking news to hear. I clearly just have not been paying attention to Chrome, but
Logan looked really good.
Logan was back. Yeah, I mean, when they're healthy, Connor Farrell played great. JT Giles Harris still looks like a top defender right now, but
I still have the argument he's number 1 in the league right now.
I mean, it's hard to argue that.
I'll die on that hill. If you haven't read Keys' article about it,
it's really hard to argue that.
I do want to say, I said Cole Williams was going to be a problem in the PLL. I said when he hops on a team, he's going to be a problem. We talked about this during the draft, as people forget. Remember, he's like 6'5".
He's huge.
Yeah, he's huge. And I said his game is one of those games that's more accommodated for the PLL, and he fits in really well with the Chrome. He had, what did he have last week? He had 2 points. He had a goal and an assist. Crazy.
I actually do vaguely remember you saying that, so yeah. I'll give that one to you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like every week I see the Chaos lose, but I'm still like, I'm not worried about the Chaos. Yeah. But to your point, like, yes, I do agree. I don't think it's a lack of talent or lack of depth. I think on paper, you guys are still a championship caliber team. It's Andy Towers is not the issue. It's lack of effort right now.
Yeah. And just because I am a Chaos fan, we gotta talk about that goal by Byrne.
Absolutely
disgusting. Dude. Absolutely disgusting.
Josh Byrne has his own highlight reel of the season.
Oh yeah.
So far.
100%. And like when coaches say force him down the alley, he did the right thing. He was just.
That's one of those. The defender comes over, just like shrugs. Coach is just like,
I mean,
look, man.
Also, he put everything he had into that.
Oh yeah. That ball was going in.
It was, yeah. Regardless, so no, I would say I'm worried, but I'm more worried about the effort level than I am about the talent and scoring goals.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Agreed. Well, let's talk about this while we're on the Chaos.
Sure.
Instead of skipping to it. So Tehoka Nanako recently dropped from Chaos into the player pool. Was that a surprise to you, or did you expect that?
Big surprise.
Surprise.
Especially the timing of it. You know,
yeah.
It's one of those like you put him in, and if it doesn't work, like.
Did he play at all for Chaos?
He has not. I don't even know if I've seen him on the sideline, honestly.
Okay. So who do you think should pick him up?
Should or will?
Should.
I mean, the Cannons. That's the answer. The Cannons. It needs to be Lyle, him, and Cockerton.
True.
And have
Asher. Who do you think will pick him up?
100%.
Dude, the PLL Paul Rabel cannot allow that.
Dude, we're not doing this Chris Paul to Lakers shit.
We are. We're doing it. We're doing it.
No, we're not. What about you? Who do you think? Who do you think should? And then who do you think will?
I think you have to say Cannons should.
Right.
There's no way to not say that. Who I think he does go to, I was trying to think about this because like Atlas Chrome, they're out. They don't need any attack help.
No, especially the way he plays.
I think the Water Dogs could just because Ryan Brown is out, but I don't I don't
Right.
see that happening. So I would say Redwoods or Whip Snakes. I think he would fit better on the Whip Snakes. So I would say probably Whip Snakes, but and Archers obviously don't need him.
No, not at all. I just thought, man, think about Cockerton being their first guy out of the box, and you have Asher Nanitote on the backside.
Well, and that's what they would do. They'd have Cockerton running through the box.
That's a lot of body to deal with, man. Imagine a 2-man game with those two guys. That's brute force, man. That is not fun.
Dude,
Yeah.
just imagine like a shorty on those guys. You are getting pushed. Like if they're at X, you're getting pushed back to the top of the key.
Also, are we allowed to talk about the fact that Asher always looks like he got home from the war after games?
Dude, my man is throwing his body on the line every week.
Taking just absolute Jesus.
Just bloody every week.
Yes.
But I mean, and I credit him. Like he said when he was on, that's his game. Like he's not going to change.
No. And I know Lyle loves it. I really do.
I think Lyle does like it because Lyle is like the more finesse, quick on his feet,
right?
Like shifty, get around defenders. Asher's like, fuck that, I'm going through you.
At the same time, man, I think every player talks about this. Lyle is very strong. Like he takes.
Oh yeah, I mean he could go through defenders if he wanted to.
Yeah, but he doesn't. Yeah,
he just doesn't have to.
His hitch after that ground ball. I mean, frozen in time, man. But just
yeah. So yeah,
So I don't know. I think Whips get him because that's just who the Whips are.
I think they do too. I'm just gonna be so pissed if the Whips get him because they're gonna win the championship again if they get him. They are. They've already made the championship series.
We're not okay. We gotta wait till we talk about them.
Yeah, it's fine. So Chrome win this one 13-9, ending their losing streak. Chaos, on the other hand, dropped to 2-6. So that was the first game. We had a triple header on Saturday. Actually, we needed to mention it.
Started at 11.
So great. Honestly, okay with that. Late game Friday,
big time,
and 3 on Saturday, 11:32 and 4:30. That's perfect.
I mean, and do remember we had an hour and a half rain delay. It was a huge.
That's true. So there was lacrosse until like 8 o'clock that night.
Oh darn!
Yeah, it was so nice.
Yeah.
So second game we had Water Dogs Atlas. I really wish Sam was here.
Man, I wish he was here.
He's such a bitch.
I know.
Water Dogs are officially the hottest team in the league. They've won 5 straight after starting 0-3. This was game of the year in my book, I have to say. Yep. It had everything you wanted. Super high scoring game.
Yep.
But both goalies also played fantastic. Had 2-point goals. You had a great face-off matchup, which I actually thought was going to be horrendous.
That actually was it was.
You had big hits. You had Eric Law and Michael Sowers like flying through the air, like they're in the movie 300. Yeah. It was wild to watch. My MVP of the game is Kieran McArdle.
Yep.
This man is having the quietest MVP caliber season we've ever seen in the PLL.
He's top what? Top 2 in assists and top 3 in goals, something like that.
He's number 1 in assists.
Okay, and then
I don't know what he is in goals, but he's 3rd in points overall, behind Lyle and. Huh?
Yeah. Then he's got to be top 5 in goals. Then
he probably is. Yeah, he has to be. But I mean, he's getting no spotlight, which I'm sure he's okay with. But I'll tell you what, he's right behind Trevor and Lyle Thompson for MVP right now in my book.
Hold on. Yeah.
31 points.
No, I actually 100% agree with that. Anybody wants to have that argument, I will. I think we need to stop falling in love with highlight plays and start, really becoming like, is this guy the best at what he does versus how he does it? I think people are like, oh, he doesn't, do the one-handed come around the neck goals. It doesn't matter. He's producing and his team's winning. And he's been consistent, very consistent. So it's all you really can ask for. Yeah,
I mean, the Atlas have such good defense and goal, and Concannon played well.
My goodness. On the crease is
some of these passes he's making are just they're like skip passes, just tape to tape.
Yep.
And I mean, it's just he's literally taken over that role as like captain of the offense, which is great because now you've got Sowers open on the backside. But yeah, I mean, it was such a good game. Literally had so many. It was just constantly going back and forth. There were like 8 lead changes. It was crazy.
So I have 2 things to say about this game. The first thing is I have to be petty. Can I just get an "I told you so"? Can I get that? I
You told me what?
Water Dogs. I said this. I said 3 weeks ago they are my favorite to win. They're the best team in the league. And
you did.
That was crazy.
I mean, when we were 0-3, I thought you were crazy because we looked so bad.
It was the game after that. I'm telling you,
we beat. We beat Chaos.
Exactly.
That was our first win.
That people like don't realize is I still haven't seen somebody check Sowers one-on-one.
No, and you're not going to.
Exactly. So if you cannot check the guy who's behind at all without sending somebody, this offense doesn't need an offense. That's your offense. I mean, I saw Sowers sometimes just carrying, and they had a short stick like ready to go. And that frees up, everybody else. And Dylan Ward is so good.
So saucy in that. Oh my God, the sweatpants.
He is. Actually, yeah, especially with 90 degrees on the field.
Yeah, he's a psychopath.
I mean, but,
as that's all right.
It saves balls. That's what I was going to say. So did you see Diggs Tape's tweet about the end of this game?
No, which one?
Okay, so he tweeted because you obviously saw the end of the game. They threw that pass to the middle of the field. It was tipped. Then Water Dogs came down, scored. So then Diggs Tape was asking, why did we throw that pass?
Yeah. I saw that one.
Eric Lawler actually responded to his tweet.
Yeah,
said, that's on me, Diggs. And I was like, the transparency of this league is top tier.
It's so good. I love that.
Right, that's so good because if that was NFL, it would be some petty, DeJounte Murray, KD stuff of yo, who the hell is Diggs Tape? Like that kind of thing. But he called it, he called a spade a spade. He was like, sometimes you take that chance and then we score, and sometimes you turn the ball over. So it's so obviously it's easy.
Well, and that's the shitty part is he's right. I mean, if that pass isn't tipped in a turnover, that's game. It's probably game over for Atlas. So it's like that one little thing. It probably was a good decision, but turned out not to be in their favor. But quick side note, I did bet Sam $10 that Water Dogs would beat Atlas, and my man could not have responded quicker saying yes.
It's true.
And now he's not here. Coincidence? I think not.
I think not. The dogs are it, man.
But no, I thought the Water Dogs looked great. Zach Tucci he won 10 of 28 faceoffs. Doesn't sound great, but he did what he needed to do, and that was just don't let Trevor win every faceoff.
Yeah, so we need to talk about that because we didn't get to talk about when the Water Dogs played the Cannons. This is getting kind of embarrassing. The Water Dogs don't care if they win the faceoff. They have that much faith in Courier. He is that good on the ground that it's whistle.
Well, and that's why that stat is skewed is because you have the best wing player in the PLL in Zach Carrier.
Dude, I've seen him run through 3 poles and come out with the ball and just look calm, cool, and collected. He is literally one of the best ground ball guys I have seen ever. And to tell a team we know we're not going to beat you at the X, but we know Courier's better. I played on the wing when I played. That's a diss. That's super embarrassing to say our guys are more athletic than your guys. I don't care how we get the ball, but we're going to get it. Courier, he's that dude.
He's so good. I think behind Tom Schreiber, he's by far the best midfield in the league. He can do everything.
Especially as far as doing everything.
And I mean, not strictly shooting midfield, but they call him a Swiss Army knife. Just the all-around midfield position. He might even be tied with Schreiber for the best, but it's crazy. And so I think to your point, I don't think Andy Copeland is worried about. He was like, we don't need a Joe Novello.
No, seriously. After watching the last 2 games, he doesn't have to be. And look at Courier: 2 points. He had a goal, an assist, 3 shots, 4 ground balls, and a cost turnover. Dude.
Yeah, he's all around just fantastic.
And of course, my man, as you know, Jack Hanna, game winner.
Winner, hero for the Dogs, hometown boy, absolute missile in overtime to win it. He was waiting for that ball for 5 seconds. He was
And
just sitting there, just like, please.
I loved how who was it? It wasn't Quint. Who was on the call this weekend?
Uh, it was Carcaterra, and I always forget his other name or the other guy's name.
But they were talking about the end of that overtime, and Jack Hanna. I mean, you could tell he's a hockey guy. He played it so well. He didn't act like he was open.
Dude, he looked like Ovechkin in like that classic backside Ovechkin
He was
pass.
like one more, and then he backed up. And I was like, if he pulls this near side, this place is gonna erupt. And then
I mean, it literally looked like me in online versus in Joe. It was crazy. Like it was
a couple years ago for sure. I would say that. Before we go, I do have to give a shout out. Chris Gray looked very good this week. Not that he hasn't played, but like he looked. I mean, there was times where I felt like he was not only dominant, but like just super accurate. So he had 4 points, 3 goals.
So I agree. Chris Gray looked good.
Yep.
I have to say, I have a small concern. Jeff Teat having 1 goal is not going to do it.
Right.
He only took 3 shots. Like, what's going on there? That's not okay. The bigger concern, and it's something I've been talking about for weeks, is how the hell are Atlas losing when Trevor Baptiste is dominating faceoffs?
20 of 29, you lose the game.
I mean, so I will say the Atlas had a lot of penalties in the first half. They had a lot of turnovers, a lot of missed shots. They looked terrible. But like this has to be concerning to Atlas fans. The only time they're winning games is when Trevor is winning like 70 to 80% faceoffs.
Yeah, because to me, is that not just saying we can't win close games?
That's exactly, or it's like we just, to me, it's saying we need so many possessions in order to win that if you don't get us this number, we're going to lose because we can't win close games.
It's true.
No,
it's true. It's like those defenses that never turn the ball over. You know, so short field.
Atlas have lost 2 of their last 3, and now they play the Whipsnakes this weekend.
I mean, dude,
they could be dropping 3 or 4.
They won 70% of the faceoffs, but they had 19 turnovers. That almost.
I mean, their offense looked bad in the first half.
It's almost a wash, dude. If you really think about it,
it is.
Some of that gets washed out. So, wow, I didn't even. And also, nice to see Romar get 1 on Cage.
That was cool. I mean, I was pissed, but it was really cool.
Of course. I was pissed too, but I don't know. They look superhuman, but
Cody Smith had a 2-pointer that was cool too.
That was sick. I think your point about Trevor are kind of like these things we see in basketball and football, where like it's a little problem in the regular season, but it's the problem in the playoffs, and we're going to see it.
Yeah, we'll see. I think we will. I started off this season so high on the Atlas, and I'm finding myself. I'm like they're losing to good teams, but it's just like if they don't get a certain number of possessions, they're going to lose. They've got to have like
they got comfortable.
Exactly. They got, I think complacent's a good word.
Just like the Chrome. I mean, a lot of teams do it. So
yeah. So your Water Dogs get the win in overtime. That's 5 straight now. They are sitting at 5-3. Atlas, I think, have dropped to 5-3 as well. Yes, they have. So we've got 3 teams: Atlas, Chrome, Water Dogs, all at 5-3. Last game of the weekend we had was Archer's Whipsnakes. Story of this game was Brett Dobson getting his first career start, which was cool.
Yeah, I actually vehemently disagree with this decision.
So do I. Well, you want to talk about a mental disaster is being told your first career start is against the Whipsnakes.
No, you could do it any week. You guys are going to be in the. Why did you choose the Whipsnakes?
I don't know.
You need.
I will say Brett looked incredibly shaky to start off with.
Oh, but then
he got comfortable.
He had to get into the speed, but the goalie is such a leadership role, and you need that in a kind of Whipsnakes game. You could have done it any week. Why this week? That was my big thing when I saw it.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I really disagree with that. I think that was a bad decision.
Yeah, so do I. But so the Whips offense continues to shoot in the mid-20%. They're still squeaking out victories every week. Matt Rambo looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Joe Nardella 20 for 26 on faceoffs. Poor Ignacio was just getting destroyed by him. I felt almost pretty bad, but
yeah, he got bullied all day.
Yeah, dude, Michael Earhart is playing so well. Kyle Bernlohr is playing so well. I'm like,
Bernlohr is playing out of his mind.
I just don't see this team losing.
Yeah, so that's what I want to talk about on the podcast. I have to backtrack what I said last week. If Rambo played like he did this last week, I have whip snakes in the ship for sure.
I mean, it's hard to not have them right now.
Did you hear what the commentators talk about the phone call that Rambo got from his coach? They apparently head coach called Rambo and basically called him out. He's like, you need to do more. No one in this league can guard you, and you're not doing enough. And Rambo said, bet.
Damn it.
So he got the ball, and every time he was like, I'm going to the rack, and there's not a person that can stop me. And if Rambo attacks like this team is so hard to beat.
Yes.
Like,
I'd say virtually impossible to beat.
Yeah, because he wasn't dodging to pass. He was dodging to score.
Oh yeah. No.
And I mean, seeing Rambo dive across the crease like that, I was like, what?
Yeah. It's just like, get the hell out of the way.
Yeah. I mean, dude,
but yeah,
trying to push him. Like, that was just obsolete.
The funny thing is the Archers have already said that Gittleman will be back in net next week.
See, I just
doesn't make sense.
Bad decision. I think it's just a bad decision.
I think it was too, but yeah, I mean, I don't really have too much to say about this game. It went how I thought. It was a pretty close game. I mean, it was. I expected it to be a little more high scoring, especially with Dobson in net. But I mean, only giving up 11 goals is good in the PLL. I mean, their defense is stepping up, especially as the Archers.
I'm honestly worried about the Archers, man. Because
I am too. That's 2 straight they've lost,
bro. With this lineup and with we always say it's the PLL, man. Grant Amen doesn't have 6 weeks to get his legs under him. So let's say Grant Amen's back, right? He had 3 points. They're still losing, and they're not looking good either. Like, what happened to the Will Manny MVP talk? Like, that got dropped off so quickly.
It is funny how quickly that he's just not even in the competition anymore.
Exactly. And I just, this whole Saints Archers thing is really starting to add up. Like, a crazy.
Shout out Bryce.
And I mean, dude, they're not producing like 11 goals.
Yeah,
like, if I have to hear one more commentator tell me how fantastic Matt Moore is off unassisted goals, but then they lose the game, I'm like, who cares? I mean, Matt Moore is good, but they're losing. So I don't know, man.
Yeah.
This roster's too good to, one, put up 11 goals, and two, to lose in this fashion. Marcus, Grant, Will, Connor Field, Shriver, Matt Moore. Like, come on, man.
That's why I'm like,
I'm
all, my analytic brain is already looking at the draft next year, and I'm like, what the hell do the Archers need? And I'm like, it's certainly not attack. It's not. You've got Tom Schreiber and Trey Leclerc at midfield. I guess you could always have depth there, but I mean, I think right now they have to be looking at a goaltender, even though they just drafted one.
I kind of like them getting like a Courier type guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think they'll get midfield, or maybe like LSM or something. But
this is no knock on our boy Mark McNeil, but I think one of their detriments is their D mids are not offensive minded at all.
They're not at all.
And because of the short shot clock, like, you really need guys like Bubba Fairman, and it now makes more sense why Perkovic was moved to D midi, because they bring the ball over. We're already down to what, 32 seconds?
Yeah.
30 seconds sometimes. So then they have to all get off. Shriver gets on with 25 seconds.
Yeah.
And none of those guys can dodge, I think between the two or three D middies, they probably have 2 goals total, maybe.
So if that, yeah.
So I think defensively, it's a lot, but you got to be able to turn those into goals. It's the only way to win this league. Seriously.
Yeah, no, that's true. They got to figure something out, because we're down to the last 2 weeks here.
Yeah, what's their record?
They're 4-4.
See, they're too good to be a 4-4, man.
They are. They're the team behind them is the Redwoods. Like, they should be miles ahead of the Redwoods. Yeah, Redwoods are 1 game behind them.
Miles ahead of the Redwoods, nice.
I didn't even mean to do that, but damn. All right, so Archers do lose this one 13-11. They dropped to 4-4. Whip Snakes have solidified themselves in first place, have already made the championship series at 7-1.
It will be the first.
What were you going to add?
This is backtracking a little bit, but I want to talk about the Redwoods a little bit. how much of an absolute surprise gem has Charlie Bertrand been?
Yeah, this dude came out of nowhere and is on the
He
freaking
is-
top 10 every week.
I mean, dude, he is not only making crazy goals. I mean, he is playing so well.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's definitely a big part of why they're climbing the rankings right now.
huge. So yeah, I just want to give him a little shout out because he's been on these like, top 10 things, which is is obviously great, but he's playing some really good.
Yeah, no, he is.
6'4", 225. My goodness.
He's big as a redwood. Well, I'm just saying,
No, I got it. I forgot he's the Merrimack kid. He was the D2 player of the year. That's right.
Merrimack College.
Wow. Okay.
All right. So that wraps up Denver. So this weekend we've got games in Salt Lake City. It's very cool to see these like West Coast, Midwest games.
100%.
Very cool.
And the views are immaculate. And we got to give Denver that facility is
beautiful. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
So we've got 4 games coming up this weekend, 2 Friday, 2 Saturday. First one we got probably absolutely the game of the week. Got Atlas Whipsnakes. I'm very excited for this one. Whipsnakes are -1.5. James, who do you like here?
Whipsnakes all day.
To cover 1.5?
Yeah, for sure.
So do I.
For sure. Like that's an easy pick.
I am just so excited to watch Nardella and Baptiste face off.
That is going to be fun. I'm excited to watch.
Who do you think wins that matchup?
I think. Okay, this is gonna be a weird take. I think Trevor wins overall, but Nardella is gonna win when it matters.
I like that.
Like last 2 minutes or something, and the Whipsnakes go on that late run, and they need one more ball. Nardella will get that ball. But I think Trevor will win the overall count. 100%. What about you?
That's fair. I'll agree with that. I was gonna say Nardella will win overall, but I kind of like what you said better.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
Trevor's going to win more faceoffs, but when they need to win faceoffs, Nardella's going to win.
Well, so I'll say this: I think in the first half Trevor wins. Second half Nardella wins.
Yeah. So it is. Oh, it's Rexrod on Rambo. I love this matchup. It's a really good matchup.
Yeah, and you're gonna have like Cade Van Raphorst on Zed Williams.
Yeah, this whole Zed thing's been weird. I hope he finds his mojo. He's only really scored on rebounds so far, so we'll see.
Yeah, and I was just reading Keege's article. They've been like moving him around. They're trying like new stuff every week, basically, but it does seem like he hasn't really found his place this year.
I mean, if people forget he was the MVP.
He was. So next game we got is Water Dogs Redwoods.
Wait, you had Whipsnakes to cover, right?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. No, you got
oh, shit. Actually, hold up. Let's go back. I'm still gonna take Whipsnakes, but I'm also gonna take the over.
What's the line? Or what's the count?
I think it's 22.5. I can check. We'll move on to Water Dogs Redwoods.
Okay.
I'm definitely taking Water Dogs here to cover. At this point you can't, right?
Right.
Especially when they're playing I have been impressed with what the Redwoods have done last few weeks, but I have to take the Water Dogs here.
Yeah, I would definitely say they're barking up the right tree.
Oh God. Are you serious? That's so bad.
Come on. You never give to me. But no, I have Water Dogs for sure.
All right. Over under in Atlas Whipsnakes is 23.5. You bet your ass I'm taking the over.
Over.
Water Dogs Redwoods over under is 24.5. That might be an underplay because the Redwoods don't score a lot and the Redwoods have a really good defense.
Yeah, but they are scoring.
They are scoring.
Especially more than they were at the beginning of the year.
So. All right, so let's get to the 2 more difficult games because those were pretty easy, I think. But
yeah. Yep.
Saturday, 3:00, we got Chaos versus Archers. Archers are -1.5. Over under is 24.5. I'm gonna start. I'm taking your Chaos +1.5. I think Archers could squeeze this out. I think it's gonna be a close game, but I would not be surprised if Chaos win this. The Archers are in shambles right now.
They are. This is a tough one, honestly.
It is.
It is and you said Gittleman's back in.
Yeah, it sounds like he'll be back.
Yeah, I'll still take my boys. I got faith in my boys. I'll take Chaos to cover.
Yeah, I like the cushion there. I think this is going to be I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it'll be a close game. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Archers are just kind of reeling right now. Yeah, so this could be the game where they turn around, but I don't know.
Yeah. Or it could be the game where everything goes to shambles. Like they lose by 5 and people start asking.
It could be.
Interesting.
And that's kind of where I'm leaning right now.
It's kind of setting up to be that. It's setting up to be that game.
Where like it is. I think when you finally change your goalie and it's that bad, and now you're going back to your original goalie, that never works out well.
True. That's true.
So I don't know. I might change my pick at some point, but right now I'm going Chaos.
Okay.
Last one we have Cannons Chrome. Go ahead. You go first.
I really want to have faith in the Cannons, man. I really do. And it's really hard because every time they win a game, my team gets pushed out. But I gotta take the Chrome. That is
so Chrome are favored 2.5, by the way. Just in case that sways your pick. So they got to win by at least 3.
No, I think they can. For sure. I don't trust Morocco, honestly. I really don't.
Yeah, well, that's dude. Actually, yeah. So I have Cannons plus 2.5 just because I think they keep it close.
Sure.
But now that you say that, dude, the Chrome's attack line against Morocco is it's gonna be a long day.
Like we haven't even said the name Dylan Malloy, and he's absolutely had a stellar season.
I know.
He had like 3 goals last week.
Yeah, he's played fantastic every week, but he just gets overshadowed by some guys.
Exactly. Sometimes. So yeah, I got Chrome.
I'm gonna take Cannons for now.
Wow.
That I'm absolutely taking the over in this as well. 23.5. Definitely taking the over. Yeah, damn, I'm gonna flip flop on a few of these.
I think Lyle has another week. I think he has another 5 or 6 pointer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
JT Giles Harris on Lyle.
He's gonna have to be on Lyle.
Inject that into my veins.
There's no way they put him on Asher, right?
No. He's got the feet for it. He's got the feet for Lyle.
That's what I'm saying.
He's got the speed.
All right. Well, quick. Who's your championship matchup right now? You said Whip Snakes, Water Dogs.
Whip Snakes, Dogs. Yeah, honestly, I don't think anybody could talk me out of that matchup right now. I think that's championship.
So they put up a picture. I was trying to find it of right now what the playoff bracket would look like.
Sure.
Where's that? Here it is.
You got it.
So yeah. So right now you would have Atlas playing Chaos. You would have Chrome playing Redwoods.
Here it is.
So actually right now you couldn't have Whip Snakes Water Dogs because the way it is right now is Water Dogs will play the Archers and the winner of that game would play Whips in the semis.
Yeah, but we know this season is going to change 100%.
Oh, I'm saying right now because so Atlas Chaos, who would you have winning that?
Yikes. I honestly would have Atlas winning that. Truthfully,
that's not a lock though.
No, it's not.
That's not a lock.
I don't know what the Chaos are going to look like in 2 weeks. We could look good enough that I could be like, no, I'll take that. Not to mention, is Trevor going to win 80% that game?
Right. All right. So if you've got Atlas moving on, so Chrome Redwoods, who would you pick?
Chrome.
Okay. And then Water Dogs to beat the Archers?
Easy.
Okay. So semis, you'd have Atlas versus Chrome.
Yikes. Atlas versus Chrome.
They have played and Chrome beat them.
Thing is, I got to take Chrome right now, man. I really do.
So Chrome would be in the championship. So semis, you'd have Whip Snakes, Water Dogs. They played twice and they've split the series.
They split the series, and have they both been OTs? or just one was OT?
No, Whip Snakes won by 3 first time. Second one was OT.
Right.
Oh no, wait.
No, because we read Charlotte for.
You're right. They've both been OT.
Yeah, they've both been super tight.
Wait, have they?
I think one was a 1-point game.
The game we saw in Charlotte was OT, right?
Yeah, that was OT. Whip Snakes won.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, so we played them in Minneapolis in week 5 and won by 1.
Yeah. Damn, dude, this is a hard pick. I guess just because I want to ride the train, I want to say dogs, and I just really don't want to see the Whip Snakes win. And then I have
So
dogs over it. Yeah.
Water Dogs Chrome is your championship.
Yeah, dogs win.
That sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah. What do you got?
I would take Atlas over Chaos,
Okay.
Chrome over Redwoods.
Yep.
I would take Water Dogs. So semis.
Atlas Chrome.
I think I would take Atlas.
Okay.
And then I would take Whip Snakes.
So Atlas Whip Snakes.
Damn.
Who wins that? The way Burnlow's playing, that's a Whip Snakes pick for me.
Yeah, I have to go Whip Snakes. You
sure.
can't pick against them right now.
I mean, they're just
not, especially against the Atlas too. They're just they seem to finish games a lot better than Atlas too.
And I guess I don't know why we haven't talked about it, dude, but like the throwback jerseys were
so sick.
Like I loved all the comments. I were like, yeah, this every week. Like this is it. Like these.
I really did not think I was gonna like them when I saw them online, but
they look
like
so
actually
good.
seeing them on the field, I was like, these are sick.
Absolutely. Like
it was such a good weekend to do them too in Denver.
That's true. And it was like a crazy weekend, packed out, man. And not only packed out, when they came back from the hour-and-a-half delay, it was like packed again.
Right. I was expecting to see all the bleachers empty. People were like, yeah,
we're going back. I really don't think people realize how much this league is is blowing up. It's so
it's
fun.
Crazy. Yeah, they're getting big and they've got a loyal fan base, which is cool. I was just watching RJ's vlog from the weekend and
I just watched some of it.
Yeah, you've got some loyal ass fans in there, which is cool.
100%. And I think two things to note before we bounce. Fate of the Sport, very excited. Coming out, LeBron James's company is going to be doing the production, so that's going to be A1. And also, have you seen the referee that was mic'd up for the weekend? You seen this video yet?
Yes. His name is Matty or something.
Top tier content for the PLL, man.
Yeah, we're going to need more of that, guys.
100%. He is so good. Not only just communicating, but you can tell the players have been playing.
Yeah, he like banters with the players with RJ and shit. I was like, that's the kind of ref I want.
It's perfect. It's perfect. He's
like, well, and he's obviously mic'd up every week because he has to make calls. Right. So I'm like, dude, give this guy his own footage every week.
It was. I bet that video is gonna do numbers for sure. So
I'm about to go rewatch it.
100%.
All right, well, that's all we got this week. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will be back next week, hopefully with Sam back. Dude probably hasn't seen the sun in a while, so he might not. If Atlas lose to Whip Snakes, he might miss again. So.
$10.
$10 what?
Pay the man. Doesn't he owe you? Or you
no, he paid. He said, and I quote, that they got lucky 16 times, I guess, which is funny. So yeah, we'll address that next week when Sam is back. We're going to do another recap of the game. All right. Well, we will talk to you all later and see you next week.
Peace.